What up, guys, and welcome to another episode of The Block is Hot. In this episode, I'm going to cover the top 4 projects minting this month for the Cardano NFT space. And before diving into these projects, I just want to remind you guys to do your own research. And just because they're on my list today doesn't necessarily mean I'm minting them. I just think they have some potential and it's worth keeping an eye on. But yeah, guys, let's get into it. The first project on our list today, guys, are the Unleashed Beast, and they are releasing May 15th. There's going to be a total of 3,000 of these AI-generated beasts, and they're being split up between 2 different drops, with the second drop being a month later. Now, the mint price for these are 80 ADA, and they actually look very cool and unique, and is one of the best AI-generated projects I've seen so far. Now, the whole vision of the Unleashed Beast are to make a strong IP and brand out of these different monster-like creatures, kind of similar to Monsters, Inc. Now, what's interesting about this collection, guys, is that each of these 3,000 NFTs are going to be unique, and they're going to have 3 different combat stats for an overall combat score, and this is going to be strength, defense, and intelligence. And they also have 1 of 8 different factions, which kind of represents the type of beast it is. Now, what's going to happen is they're in the process of making a whole entire central hub where you're going to be able to go on here and fight between factions, and those different combat scores are going to come in line when it comes to the different rewards and prizes that you can earn. In this central hub, they're also going to have staking. Eventually, they're going to have these different referral programs, different events and campaigns, different clothing launches, and they're even hoping that they can do an idea promotion launchpad, which is going to help other projects come up with ideas, figure out their marketing a little bit better, as well as help them with their different merch stuff. So pretty cool stuff overall. The team have already released their Beast tickets, which are kind of like their Genesis passes, and right now they're going for around 400 ADA with 75,000 ADA worth of volume, and they also have this red and gold version that basically determine the amount of whitelist you get and different benefits such as royalty distribution for the project. So pretty interesting overall. I do know the founder, which is Dennis, as well as Vanessa, and Dennis really knows his stuff in the space, and I really do think that this project is very well organized. Now, some people aren't really big fans of the different AI generated stuff, but I do think the AI generation looks good. I think the marketing has been solid. I think the overall roadmap and branding looks good as well. My only worry is just the minting market right now on Cardano NFTs is really bad. So keep an eye on this. I think that they have the potential to do well long term, but just recognize that a lot of mints simply haven't been going well. The next project on our list is going to be ADA Inmates and their Cell Mint that's happening May 16th. There's going to be 5,750 of these different cells, and they're going to be for 125 ADA each. So what exactly are the ADA Inmates, and what is this upcoming Cell Mint? Well, guys, ADA Inmates is kind of a prisoner-themed type project where they've already released their PFPs, which have different races and classes and professions and all of these sort of things. And this project in particular is taking a lot of inspiration from what the Ape Society did, where you have their apes and then you also have their cabins as well as their frames. Essentially, guys, these ADA Inmates are kind of like the apes, where they're a part of all these different races, and they're able to generate these different tokens that they're creating in their ecosystem. And what's happening is they're releasing these cells, and there's going to be 4 different types of cells that are going to enable you to have different amounts of posters. So basically, you get this cell, you can have anywhere between 1 and 4 posters. Once you have those posters up, you can stake your inmate into it, and then you're going to be able to get these different supplies or these different rewards. And essentially, you're going to be able to craft them or form them into their smokes token, which is going to have different utilities as time goes on in their ecosystem. Now, I do want to say, guys, that the ADA Inmates community is very strong and hardcore, and their leadership has done a great job so far, and the actual development of a lot of what they're doing is being done by the Yepple team, which I do trust to actually be able to deliver on what they're trying to deliver. Now, that being said, a lot of these metaverse or like cell-like drops or like cabins, for example, usually don't do too well, at least in the short term. A lot of people aren't as interested in it, and I do worry that another 700,000 ADA for this mint is a little too much ADA for the size of their community community at this time. Now, that being said, the reason I included it in this video is I think this project has some long-term potential and it's worth paying attention to. Their actual cells are going to be full whitelist, and I do think that they have a decent chance at selling out, but recognize that they might not sell out, or if they do sell out, you might actually be able to get a better deal for the long term. So definitely a project to keep your eyes on. I just don't know how much outside of attention they're going to be getting on this specific mint, and their actual community itself is pretty small right now, so I don't know if they'll be able to handle that dilution, at least in the short term. The next project on the list is going to be Introverts, and they're releasing their first artifact soul portals this 18th and 19th of May. Now there's going to be 1,314 of these different soul portals, and it's going to be 40 ADA mint price for holders and 88 ADA mint price for the public. Now, what exactly are these soul portals, and what are you going to be able to do with them? Well, guys, there's going to be a total of 4,000 of these different artifacts, with this first third being these soul portals, and then there's going to be 2 more drops this year of 1,314, and then the last drop is going to have about 50. Now, these are unique pieces of artwork, and there's going to be 24 different of these portals for this specific drop. Now, these portals are going to allow you to stake for their C points. They're going to allow you to join the art club, where you're going to be able to interact with D-Nice and all of the different things that they're doing. But most importantly, they're going to act as sort of the cabins or the cells of the ecosystem and inner cosmos that the Introverts team is trying to create. So essentially, you're going to be able to get these soul portals, and you're going to be able to unlock different traits for your introverts, different things that you can add to them, different customizations. And as you get these different rewards, you're going to be able to craft various things in their ecosystem. So very similar to Ape Society, where now all of a sudden you can get their token and you can craft these teacups and you can sell them and you can customize your cabin, all that sort of stuff. They're pretty much doing something very similar, but for these artifacts. And the different introverts you have, as well as the different portals you have, are going to allow you to get these different traits or craft these different items and go on these missions, so to speak. Right now, you are going to need an introvert to actually go on these different missions that might take 15 days, for example, and get you some sort of item. But in the future, they're actually talking about adding different projects or different policy IDs to be able to interact with this whole space. Now, what I do want to say is that the actual Introverts project themselves is holding over a 200 ADA floor and has a very strong community, with a lot of the supply going to current holders. So I personally think that this is not only going to do well short term, but I do think that this is going to do well in the medium to long term as well, especially since they're only raising around 110,000 ADA, which is low for this market, and it's low compared to the market cap of their main project. The final thing that I want to say about the project is that they have a whitelist registration link that is closing on Monday. You just have to join their Discord, guys, and sign up your wallet beforehand. And if you don't do this, most likely you're not going to mint this project if you did end up wanting to go for it. So I recommend at least adding your wallet in there so you have the option when the day comes. But I do expect this to do well, and I do expect a lot of the holders to mint this out. The final mint on our list today, guys, is none other than the Season 1 Big X Brave Mystery Chest mint. Now, I am super pumped up about this mint, guys, and basically what's happening is we're releasing 1,000 of these Season 1 Genesis Mystery Chests for only 20 ADA each on May 22nd. Now, these chests are actually designed by the Block Owls team, and with the help of Brave Dogs, we're creating a completely unique minting experience where you're going to be able to mint these chests. About half of the supply is going to the public, the other half is going to whitelist. So if you wanted to get in on the whitelist, make sure that you're engaging with our Twitter, because that's how we're picking people for this mint. Now, what's cool about this, guys, is you're able to mint this chest, and you can do one of several things. You can either keep this collectible chest as a collector's item, or you could open the chest and get a random prize inside, or you could simply sell the chest to someone else and make a quick flip. Now, what's really cool about this is every single time someone opens a chest, it burns and destroys that chest out of circulation, and inside of these chests, there are 20,000 ADA worth of prizes. So what's crazy is we're only raising 20,000 ADA here, but a month ago we spent 20,000 ADA on different Cardano NFTs as well as different Cardano native tokens such as Indigo, such as ADA, such as MinSwap, and there are random prizes inside each of these chests. So you could get something as big as a jelly cube worth 1,690 ADA for your 20 ADA chest, or you could get a whitelist token for not getting anything. Now what's really cool about this, guys, is not every chest can have an amazing prize, and that's part of you deciding whether or not to burn this. Now for this first chest though, instead of them having no prize at all, which in future iterations there are going to be chests with no prizes, we are instead giving you a whitelist token with a funny saying. So that whitelist token you can actually decide to sell if you want to sell it, or you can burn it for our next season. We plan to do these different chests on a month-to-month basis, with 2 months being the max in between each chest. And we're really happy and excited to do something fun in the community, even if we're losing money on it, right? So yeah, it's a pretty fun mint, and I did want to show you guys before I shut up here just how this actual animation sounds, because the block team actually killed this. So pretty cool animation, pretty cool sound, and we're excited to say that Block Owls is going to be designing pretty much every single chest that we're doing. So yeah, pretty cool. It's going to be a fun collectible thing. Pretty low risk here at 20 ADA. We've got the same amount of prizes as we're raising, and we're hoping that we can do more of this. So definitely join our Discord and follow our Twitter if you want to stay up to date on this mint. And I'm going to make another video soon showcasing everything that you guys need to know, as well as going over the different rewards that are in these chests. But yeah, guys, that pretty much rounds up the top 4 projects minting this month. Definitely do your own research, and remember that a lot of these mints aren't doing good, but these are the top 4 this month from my knowledge that I think have the most potential. But yeah, that wraps it up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to follow our Twitter in the description below if you want to keep up to date with the mint that we're hosting this month. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have an awesome day.